Hey guys, it's Jennifer.
And it's Joniel. Welcome back to our 9 to 5 series. This week we will specifically be talking about not feeling smart enough on the job.
One time I was at a job where someone was teaching me how to do something and I'm just like nodding along, and then there's a point where I'm just like lost and I don't really get what's going on. And I asked them, I'm sorry, I'm not following along anymore. Can you repeat what you said? And then they're like, oh yeah, for sure, don't worry. And they like break it down, really simplify things. And I'm like still not getting it. And at this point I'm like, I'm not gonna ask them again. It's too embarrassing. What happens if I still don't get it?
Yep, I get it, yep.
Don't really get what's going on. I'm like kind of panicking a little bit. And I'm like more aware of my facial expression. Does it look like I get what's going on? And then eventually there's a point where they're like, okay, so let's revisit and like test to see if you're following along. Okay, so in this situation, like how would you go about doing it? And there's like that awkward pause because you realize you've been nodding the whole time like you understood it, but you didn't. And then you're like, oh, okay, well. Whenever these moments happen, it's so small, but at first you ask yourself, okay, are other people getting it? Like, why am I not getting it? Then you like take it another step and you overanalyze and you ask yourself, how did I even get hired? Next question, you're like questioning your whole existence and you ask yourself, do I even deserve to be here?
And no, for me, most of the time I'm very capable of doing what I need to do at work and I get it and everything's fine. But then there's always those moments where I just don't understand what's going on. I'm not following. People could be talking about like financials or numbers or something, and I just feel a lot slower than the rest of the group. And I go back and I try to figure it out on my own, and I get certain parts of it, but then I'm too embarrassed to ask about the rest of it. Because I don't want people to think I'm not smart. I don't want to be like exposed for what I do know, what I don't know. And I also don't want them to feel regretful for hiring me either. So I kind of just like hide my struggle and just like fake it till I make it a lot of the times.
What could we possibly do in this situation? And something that we thought of that we need to remind ourselves, push for answers, be selfish for your growth. A lot of our friends say the same thing, that they don't feel smart enough. So we know that a lot of people are in the same boat as us. And everyone's experiencing the same things. Whenever I think back of the people that I really look up to that are successful and are like kind of like the smartest people that I know, like in school, all those people were the ones that were in the office hours, the professor office hours, and asking questions and just kept like grilling them. And some people would roll their eyes like, oh my god, are we still on that same question? And they would not drop it. Mm-hmm. But then you look at them now and like they're the smartest people in the class. You don't necessarily have to be like hounding for questions and like just being like insane about it, but like those people would also like call up their friends and like be the starters of like study groups. They would call up their friends and be like, I don't get this topic, and they would ask their friends to like tutor them for a whole hour. For me, I would be embarrassed because I don't want to like keep asking people if I'm not going to give something back in return. But that's part of being selfish for your own growth. People are more willing to help than not. And I find that if you ask, people rarely say no. Like, people have their want to feel needed and to help people.
So just remember that if you ever find yourself in a situation where you don't feel smart enough, tell yourself, push for answers, be selfish for your growth.